Hey guys, Unfrequented World, and today I have a slightly different message for you guys. It's not a adventure day and it's not a have a laugh day. It's more of a serious note. I've been looking at some of the numbers on the COVID and I think it's time we have to have a talk about a few things. The importance of staying home and the importance of dealing with yourself, your mental state while staying at home. Really important stuff, guys, and I think we should have a chat about it. It is a beautiful day. A little crisp right now, but it's gonna warm up into double digits Celsius, I think. I was supposed to go metal detecting with Stan, but I just took the morning off. I had to finish up my work up at the college, and I thought, just get it done, and then we can have fun playing later. So that's what I did. I worked all morning instead. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that, because on this channel, that I try to keep everybody entertained. Adventure is the number one thing I like to do on this channel. Get out and just go on an adventure, whether it's four-wheeling, fishing, metal detecting. We cover a lot of stuff here. This is my hobby channel, right? That and have a good laugh. Those are my two things with the channel. So I want to continue to do that, but today I wanted to touch on something a little bit different, because I've gone through something in my past that not everybody knows about. And I think now 98% of you guys are going through the same thing that I went through. And for me, it led to a deep, dark depression. Probably about 10 years ago. I lost my job and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I ended up in the same situation you guys are in right now, where you go from, in my case, running $1 million accounts, having all these people out every night working, socializing, entertaining, and being a high profile person, to staying at home, raising 2 little girls, and having tea parties. And that doesn't sound so bad, and it's not so bad. But if you're coming from that type of lifestyle, it's such a huge change that the brain just can't comprehend what's going on. And it can lead to a sense of, oh, what do I do with my time? Anxiety, depression, what has happened to my life here? What's going on? And a lot of you guys are going through that right now. And I do have a few tips and pointers that will help you guys get through this. I know I've been there. And I have to say, I know it's, I don't want to seem preachy and whatnot, but guys, the anxiety, the number one thing you can do is exercise. If you can get out and just work yourself, have a good sweat, go for a good run. Even if you're not physically capable of that, go for a nice long walk every day. The exercise is a huge part of maintaining your mental stability. People don't think they go together, but they do. If you're exercising your body and staying in good shape, your mind goes with it. And on top of the exercising I used to do every day, a good walk, just to slow down and concentrate, put my thoughts in order, and figure out. It's a good time to talk to yourself and figure out, is there something bothering you? Is there something you need to get in order? Something that you need to take care of to feel better? That's all part of the process. Some people meditate. Yoga was another excellent one for me back in the day, guys. This is going to sound hokey, but nowadays there are more options. You can just go on YouTube and watch videos, but what I used to do was I had a Wii and a Wii U. Those are game consoles, and I actually bought yoga games, and I did yoga for probably 45 minutes to an hour, hour and a half a day when I really needed to. I used the time to stretch out, and as I was stretching and everything, I would work the mind. I would do a kind of a semi-meditation, just put my life in order consciously, asking myself, what do I need to do to feel better? What do I need to put to rest? What do I need to get organized to feel better? And all of those sorts of things that we don't take the time to do. So huge portion of what made me feel better back in the day were meditation, exercise, just putting my thoughts in order. Those helped immensely. The next best thing I can say, guys, is there's 2 things you can do. Is find a good comedy series to watch on TV, because a good laugh will change everything. If you can have a chuckle, and it changes the whole mind frame. When I was a kid, my aunt used to tell me, smile. Force yourself to smile for 30 seconds and you can't feel bad. That's what she used to tell me. And I think she was right, because I've done that into my whole adult life. If I'm in a point where I just, I'm not feeling so good, whatever, I force myself to smile. I force myself to interact with the kids, tell some jokes, get a good laugh going. Or the channel. You guys know I like to do it on the channel, right? Just have a good laugh, and that will help immensely as well. It's all state of mind. I've told you guys before on the channel, don't get too wrapped up in watching the news on this COVID and stuff every day, because that will just drive you crazy. You're going to see the worst case scenario. You're going to see the worst case headlines that these guys can present to you, because they want you to watch. They want to get your attention. They're selling things to you the whole time that you're watching the news. There's ads, there's this, there's that. If you're on the internet, you'll notice there's ads all down the side pages. They're making money off of scaring you to death right now. And so, yes, I think you need to stay informed. I think you guys need to watch, the first 7 minutes. That's all I watch. Every day we get an update here in Canada. I watch 7 minutes. They'll tell you everything you need to know in that 7 minutes. The rest is garbage fluff. Turn it off at that point. Continue on. You don't need to watch the same stupid repetitive questions that they can't answer over and over, building that fear within you every day. And if you do watch too long, you watch that 15 minutes, go jump on the treadmill, do a bit of exercising, you'll feel better. Trust Gary. I've been through it, guys, and I went through it alone back in the day. There weren't millions of people around the world who were going through that at the time, and it was very hard to find somebody who could point me in the direction to help. And the last thing I'm going to say on that point is, go online if you need to. There are a lot of free services for cognitive thinking and things like that. You can do some through the universities. There's different papers and things. You can do online courses for free, guys. They'll teach you how to analyze your thoughts and put things in order and ask yourself the questions you need to ask in order to put your anxiety to the side. So you don't have to necessarily go see a therapist if you're feeling anxiety in that. There are online courses, and I did them back in the day. I forget which university it was. All free stuff. You can look it up online. If you are feeling that, stress and anxiety every day and you can't really figure out why, go online and take some cognitive thought lessons. And all it's going to do is teach you to actually communicate with yourself, basically, is what's going to come out of that. And most people, surprisingly, don't do that every day. They don't have a conversation with themselves, asking themselves, how do I feel? What do I feel about this or that? Is there something bothering me? Do I need to address this or that? And that's all it's going to do, is to teach you how to communicate with yourself. And it helped me immensely. So exercise, cognitive training, meditation, all things that you guys can do. And remember, this time, we're all in this together, right? We're not alone. There are millions of us around the world going through the same thing right now. Yep, panic attacks. This guy right here. I've had them my entire life. Into my mid-30s and on, they don't bother me anymore. I've learned how to deal with it. But when I was a kid, teenager, back in the day, my doctor used to tell me, you're having a migraine. No, lady, I'm having a friggin' panic attack, but nobody knew what it was, right? So I've learned to deal with this stuff, and it runs in my family. All my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephews, they all get these dang panic attacks. And basically, it's just a sign of the lifestyle that we live in, where your body says, hey, fight or flight, there's something going on here that we need to address. But really, we're not in any danger nowadays. This is like a caveman thing, that's an evolutionary thing that's passed down. This is how our ancestors survived. The adrenaline kicked in and they ran from the saber tooth. We don't have to do that anymore. So when we get anxieties, yes, that's a Gary word, anxieties. If you get anxieties about work or things that are piling up, or in this case, not being able to leave the house, some people are prone to these panic attacks. How I deal with that is the same way. Exercise, bit of meditation, and you can take things out of your life that aren't going to help you. I tell my nieces and nephews, they go through this being in their early 20s. They like to party, they like to be social, right? Maybe some drinking, coffee, smoking, whatever. You got to cut. If you're one of those people that deals with anxiety or panic, you have to do yourself a favor. Cut the caffeine, cut the nicotine, any drugs, I smoke a joint here and there. That's not good for you. That makes your moods go up and down. And if you're one of these people that are prone to having these, you know, maybe an anxiety disorder or something, you want to stay as level as you can, right? You don't want to be caffeinating all morning and then you're going to crash at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. That's just going to push you right to the edge. So you have to, it's hard to teach the younger ones to do this because they've got to learn it on their own. But when you've been through it, you want to help people. You want to say, you know, had I just realized keeping your emotional state as level as you can when you're feeling anxiety is the best thing for you. And all these, you know, you get the jitters, right? Caffeine. You had 6 cups of coffee this morning, I feel. Well, you feel exactly like you're going to have an anxiety attack. And then you do, because you feel that way. And it's not your body, it's the caffeine that you've put in there. Or the drinking, you know? You wake up with a hangover, you feel crap, you know? You have to kind of find that level in your life. So, I don't want to get heavy on you guys, but I feel that I can help because, like I say, I've been there, done that, been through it, went through it by myself. Horrible, horrible depression in my mid-30s. And it lasted probably about a year. And I slowly had to pull myself out of it by doing all of these things with the exercise, the meditating, the online cognitive training, keeping a diary, keeping track of my thoughts, and just basically trying to figure out, what does this guy want out of life? You know, that was what caused my anxiety was, hey, you don't have a job, you don't have a purpose anymore. What are we here for? And that was my anxiety. And a lot of you guys are probably going through that right now. Maybe because this is my second time going through it, I don't have any anxiety about it this time. I just deal with it on a day-to-day basis. But what I am seeing are the benefits of this change. I know it feels like a real hard time and hard thing we're going through right now, but there are benefits to this. We should be realizing and seeing what the important things in our lives are. You know, whether it's a small thing like Gary saying, hey, I need adventure in my life. I don't want to sit at a desk every day. I want to get outside and do adventure. And that's what I realized years ago. And now it's just being reaffirmed here that these are the things that I like to do. That's my purpose. I like to go out, find an adventure, and tell a story about it and share it with you guys. That's what I like to do. And maybe some of you guys need to find that as well. It can't be about going to work and just putting in a 60-hour work week every week to get more pay that we can spend on useless things we don't need. And that's what a lot of us are doing. That's where we're trapped. We're in a consumer, it's an economy-based lifestyle, right? A consumerism, everything we can get our hands on. And I'm not saying I'm innocent of that. I love my tech and my gadgets, and you guys see it here on the channel all the time. But this is opening my eyes again to realize that stuff's not important, right? It's fun, but it's not important. The important things are love and family and friends and all the time that we share together. That's the important things. And I hope a lot of lifestyles change because of this. So like they've been saying all along, guys, we need to stay home. Don't be holding rallies, you know, saying, let us go back to work. The economy doesn't mean anything. That's going to cost lives. If I told you right now, it's a simple math equation, right? If you go back to work, 6 people out of 100 that you know are going to die. And you might say, that's an acceptable loss. What if it's one of your kids? What if it's your mother or your father? Is that an acceptable loss? 6%, guys. So it's nonsense to be saying that we're going to reopen anything. And luckily, Canada is not opening anything. And they've said at least a minimum of another month. And we'll talk about it again at that point. So good on you, Canada. All right, guys, the channel loves you. I love you. Thanks for all your comments, messaging, emails, all that stuff. I tried to reply to everybody that I can. Stay tuned for more funny and adventure, guys. It's coming up this week. Thanks for watching.